Hey guys, Trey Gisson Tanner here, real estate investor and coach. And today I'm going to be teaching you guys the proper way to evaluate rental property using cash on cash and cap rate. Let's get it. Let's go. All right, so let's kind of back up a little bit, right? Let's just say you're like, hey, listen, I want to buy and hold real estate. What does that mean? That means that you're going to buy the real estate and you're going to hold it. You're not going to flip it. You are going to rent it out for income. All right. This is really what you're supposed to do, and traditionally how real estate investors made money before flipping, right? Buying and holding real estate is great for depreciating your taxes. It's great for building wealth, net worth, etc. So, what is cash on cash and what is cap rate? I think I want to start with cap rate first. So, when you're going to purchase a rental property, let's just say it's a duplex, right? And you purchase this duplex for $200,000. Let's just say you have the cash to go ahead and do that, right? Let's just say this duplex can rent out each side for easy math, $1,000 a side. That's $2,000 gross income, right? That this property is producing. And you paid $200,000 for this property. So let's just say, if I wanted to evaluate the annual income on that property as a percentage, this is how I would do it. I would take, this is gross now, right? But that is $2,000 multiplied times 12. That is $24,000 and divided by how much you pay for the property, which is $200,000, right? That comes out to like, I don't know, maybe like, let's just say 11% or right above 10% or something like that, right? So that's gross. But wait, we also have to pay taxes. We have to pay insurance and, maybe maintenance, right? So let's look at it from this perspective. Let's just say taxes on that property is another 1%. That's $2,000 a year. And then let's just say your insurance is $1,500 a year. So now what we need to do is take the same income, annualized income of the $24,000, and deduct $2,000, which is now getting us down to $22,000, and another $1,500, which is now getting us to $20,500. But wait, we got some maintenance. Let's just assume that we have some deferred maintenance of $500. So now we got $20,000 of net income, right? Net is how much you're left with. Gross is how much, it is if you don't take out any losses. So our net operating income is $20,000 on this property, divided by the $200,000 that we purchased it for. Now we have a 10% cap rate. Okay? So that's a very short remedial way of explaining it. And you can get kind of crazy with it. You can assume vacancy and loss and a bevy of different factors when taking into account cap rate. But that's, cap rate at a very surface level. Some more things about cap rate. Cap rate is good to evaluate cap rate when you are wholesaling, right? Because you don't really know how the buyer's going to pay for the property. I mean, they may throw cash at it. They may go get a hard money loan or whatever like that. But at least you can say, hey, listen, this property is going to rent out at a net cap rate of 10%. And you knowing that is going to help you sell properties because now your buyers are like, wow, this guy understands cap rate. He gets it. He knows it, right? But you got to understand, like, what that terminology is, especially how much you want for the property. A lot of wholesalers, they see a clean property. Maybe they come up upon a clean property that doesn't need any work, and then they want like retail for it. And then they try to pitch it to buy and hold investors because no flippers are going to pay for it because they can't flip it. There's no profit, right? So if you want to lock up a deal that's like super high up there, like at 90% ARV, that investor, that buy and hold investor that you want to sell that deal to, better be able to make money on it, right? Or you need to drop the price. So a good rule of thumb on cap rate is, I would say, a net cap rate above 8% for single family residential homes. I would say as we go up into duplexes and to triplexes, we need to target 10 and up. And if you go into apartment buildings, maybe you have like 10 doors or 20 doors, you need to be targeting like a 16% net cap rate. If you are now looking at it from another perspective of cash on cash, we're going to look at the same amount of net income, but now we're going to change what we divide it by. This is what I mean. So cash on cash is simply this. It's the net operating income, right, over divided by how much you actually had to sink into the property in order for you to get it going. Now, this is advantageous when you are looking at apartment buildings. So let's look at another example. Let's just say you have a 20-unit apartment building. You have an adjustable rate mortgage that you have to put down 20%, let's say 25% on, right? And you purchase this property for, let's just say, $1 million for easy math. 25% that you have to put down, whether you raise the money or whether you have the money, is $250,000. Now, what we need to do is say, okay, how much can we actually rent each unit out for? Let's just assume it's a perfect case scenario that all of the units are vacant and that we can get market rent now. Let's just say that we can rent out each unit, because each unit's like let's just say a two bed, two bathroom unit. And you can get, let's just say, again, $1,000 for easy math. Well, we know that we can make $20,000 a month gross out of rental income, right? So if we multiply 20,000 times 12, now we're at $240,000 a year on this property, right? So $240,000 over 250, right, is kind of close to, that's really, really good, right? I mean, it really, really is. I'm just using some easy numbers, right? So that's almost like 100% cash on cash. That's insane. That's really, really good. But what we need to do is we need to make some deductions on a property like that. Let's just assume that now our taxes are maybe $15,000 a year, right? I'll say 20. So off of the $240,000, we need to subtract $20,000. That gets us down to $220,000. This is in the numerator. $220,000. Let's just say deferred maintenance and things of that nature. Instead of it, in our previous example, being really low, let's just say deferred maintenance on this property is now, I don't know, for the year, $10,000. So now we subtract another $10,000. Now we're at $210,000. And then let's just say we have we have insurance. Let's call the insurance like maybe like $10,000 just for easy math. So without me removing any vacancy and loss, right? Perfect case scenario, because all of the units just got renovated, right? It's perfectly ready to go. Now I have $200,000 in net operating income. I need to put this number over to $250,000 that I had to put down on the property. So that is 80%. It's fantastic, right? I kind of picked an example that was kind of straightforward, but to kind of give you some realism with this whole thing, um, cash on cash. I know a lot of investors that they're really like bullish with cash on cash. Cash on cash, if you can get like around a 20% or more on cash, it makes a lot of sense. And that's because a lot of savvy guys are actually raising money. But if you can walk into a deal and get 80% cash on cash, I mean, that's just insane. It's amazing. But typically deals are not going to be that great. You're going to have to deal with old tenants. So instead of everything written out at $1,000 a month, maybe like it's going to be only like 5 vacancies, and now you got to deal with like tenants that are written out at like $500 to $600 a month, right? That's going to bring that numerator or that net operating income way down, right? So you probably get closer to like 25%, right? And people still do the deal. But I just painted a nice round number example for you just for easy math. So why do all of this, right? Why do all of this? Because you need to. You have to. You need to become one with understanding buy and hold real estate, especially because buy and hold investors, if you're a wholesaler, pay more money than flippers. I mean, I love my flippers, but at the end of the day, my buy and hold investors have always put more money in my pocket because they're looking at performance instead of short-term flip, right? So you need to make sure that you understand cap rate. The hedge funds care about it. Corporate buyers care about it. And they buy cookie cutter homes like 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, built after 1980 and stuff like that. As you grow in your real estate journey, you have to keep these tools in your tool belt just so that you understand what you got to. Sometimes you'll stumble across a great deal, and instead you'll like go to the seller, right? Let's just say the property is worth $300,000. Let's just say it can rent out for like $2,500 a month. That's really high. A single family, that's pretty high. And then let's just say, you got a flipper who's like, yeah, man, I could do it for 180. And because that's the only flipper that you're like, hey, Mr. Seller, I know you wanted 210, but I kind of need it at like 160. And the seller's like, heck no, I'm not doing that. I got a good property. I'm just selling this because I'm going through a divorce. I got a pre-foreclosure. Like, dude, no. And what you have to do is you got to say to yourself, wait a minute. Is there a better buyer out there? You never take the first offer. I'm just telling you that right now. Unless you know it's the best offer because you have done deals before with that client. So what you want to do is you want to get out there and connect with buy and hold investors, because that same buy and hold investor would probably pay you like $230 for that deal, just because they understand the value of that specific deal from a buy and hold perspective. So guys, keep working, keep pushing, don't quit. And until next time,